Jesus, I gotta lay
All
off the
right.
coat.
Well, happy Sunday evening to everyone. This is B and T Sports Talk Show, and happy to have everybody here. So if this is your first time seeing us, or then please go ahead and like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Hope everybody had a great week this week. We're really excited about getting into the week, not only about sports, but about some sports related topics. And we've got a special guest with us. As you can see up to my top right, Brady Bunch. Oh, no, not that way. Brady Bunch this way. There we go. And so we got CookieBoybreaks with us. So we're
Oh,
really
yeah.
excited
Yeah.
about that. So CookieBoybreaks, the whole world is with. I mean, we got everybody with us. Tell us about what you do.
So I'm a sports card breaker. We break sports cards right now. We focus on NFL right now. We'll eventually move into basketball. But for you guys don't know what breaking cards is, it's basically, we're in the sports hobby. We buy boxes. People come into our lives just like this, and they buy teams or they, buy boxes from us, and then we rip them live in front of everybody, and we get people their bangers, and we ship out, and it's a good time.
Perfect. See, so what you're saying is I need to invest. I've been talking with Brian about this, and he's been bringing this up for a while now. I remember him bringing it up to me a long time ago, just like, "Hey, man, you ever buy cards?" I'm like, "Cards? Like sports cards?" I got kids, so cards in my head just means something different, man. So it's just it's cool to have you on the show to kind of give us a little bit more of expertise on how it works and how folks can get started. And what they'll kind of start off with, and B, I'm gonna put this to both you guys, really, is you've already given me a good overview of kind of how it goes down. But I'm just curious, for somebody like me, I don't know anything about it. About getting cards. I remember as a kid having a few baseball cards. We were talking about this a little earlier. CookieBoybreaks is like we was talking about. I had a cousin that had just a little old school 3-ring binder with the plastic inserts, just full of baseball cards. So obviously, it's not just for hobbies anymore. Now it's about making money. So if I'm new to the game and I'm thinking, hey, I want to get involved in this. I see this as an avenue to earn, a little side hustle from my normal 9 to 5. Where do I start?
I'd say you start in figuring out what exactly you want to do. If you want to provide a product out there for other people to get in, or do you want to go in and just start breaking the boxes open yourself and getting that rush? It's great. I mean, some people do it both. When you could take a box and set it out there and break a box with your fans or your fan base, and then turn around after you guys break a box for your fans, bring a box for yourself on, and let your fan base get to see you break open your boxes and stuff like that. I think that's probably the best way to go about it, because you got the fan base watching you break, and then you got your hits live right there, so nobody can't say nothing. Route. Yeah, I think it's the route you just want to take. You got to find that and then decide, what you want to do about it.
Now, is that a pride thing? Is it a more of a pride thing when you sort of find like the treasure versus buying that card from someone else?
For sure.
Okay,
For
all
sure.
right.
It's it's definitely a different thing.
Got it. Okay, I mean that's what it sounded like. So I mean, is this something that's realistically? Is this something that's profitable from your?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, give me an idea. I mean, what's kind of the most valuable card you've happened upon?
So the most valuable card I think I've gotten myself was Mac Jones RPA at a 75, and I think I let it go on the low side. I sold it for $700. If I held it, Mac Jones starts. He does a good job. He goes to playoffs. We're looking at anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. He wins a Super Bowl. We're looking at up and up. Because then there's 75 of them out there, and it's coming out of Obsidian. It came out of an Obsidian box, and just for that box alone, you're looking at $1,000 just to get that box. And that's not saying that Mac Jones is going to be in there. So,
dang, man,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and as you stated, CookieBoybreaks, it's a big gamble that you take because you don't know exactly what's going to be in that box.
Right.
For those who are collecting, you brought up a great point here, the selling point. Obviously, there's mixed emotions on when you want to sell. based off of the card. Now, from my experience, there's a raw card, which is basically like you described, something you pull right out of the pack that you have, or there is a graded card, which you send to these major companies like PSA, BGC, that give you a grade that could either potentially impact the value at a very high level or really diminish that value because based off of that grading. So, in your experience in what you think, what is the best way for someone to go about it when they're looking to sell the card to make that money? What advice would you give that person?
I would say look at the card, examine it, look at it. If you think you can get a 9 or a 10 or even an 8, send it into grading, because you're going to get, anywhere from 25%. So some people get, 40, 50% more for that card with it being graded by a PSA or Beckett or someone like that than it just being, raw. But, the raw cards are still going for just as much. It's just the Beckett is like the icing on the cake. You're going to get that little extra, okay, I'll take it. I'm not going to look twice because I know this is PSA slab. The hard part's already done. Now I just hold it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the crazy part when it comes to this here is what you're looking to really make off of that card there. And you brought up a good point. When the player is hot, like when Mac Jones got hot last year, his card was very, very expensive here. Yes. But to transition into that, when the player is good, the product becomes hotter. So in your experience with buying product, how have you seen kind of the price go from one product over to the next, where it could be $190 one day, and then the next week, it could be close to $1,000 here. Like, how would you recommend somebody going about that product if they're looking to buy cards?
So, I mean, if they're wanting to get into 2021 is going to be crazy expensive. 2021 is just going to keep going up because you got a great draft class. Looking at, you want to still get ahead of the hits, I'd go 2022 because you're going to get them as a lot cheaper. But yeah, I mean, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, T-Law, all those guys have impacted the 21 collection, and they're just going up and going up. And as those guys do better, that product's going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. We talked about Obsidian, which is one of where I pulled the Mac Jones from. When that box first came out, I think it was like $430, and now today we're looking at $899 to $1,000.
Mass.
For just the box. And that's not saying that that's not saying that you're going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the gamble right there. Is one person is going to hit that Mac Jones. Someone may even get as worse as Panini points. So it's pretty crazy on how that is.
Man, this is all blowing my mind. Y'all talking about $3,000 football cards. I mean, y'all got me itching.
Yeah. Great.
And just to kind of, we talked about getting started, and like, obviously for me, I don't know too much about it, but how do you guys describe it? Is it can you really take a strategic approach to how you do it, or is it always just a gamble?
I think it's always a high and a low. I think there's a high and a low to it every time you get into it.
Got it.
One week you might be pulling bangers. The next week, you're pulling. Now, I'm not going to say trash, but you're pulling not the ones you want.
Right, gotcha.
And speaking of pulling, let's talk about the boxes here. So obviously, Obsidian is what they call a hobby box, and those who don't know, there are levels of different boxes. There are your fat packs that you can find at like a Walgreens or CVS. There are blaster boxes. There are hanger boxes. There's a mega box, and then there's the hobby. So, CookieBoybreaks, if you can kind of break down the level on how people should start to get to that hobby side here, and what kind of cards you would find in each kind of box there.
Yeah. So, So, when you look at, for instance, the fat packs and stuff like that in the Walgreens, those are cool packs, for the everyday person that just kind of wants to go buy a sports card and just kind of want to be a part of it and feel what it feels like to open up a pack, because not everybody has $600 or $1,000 laying around. It's awesome. Out of those cards, you're going to find cool inserts and stuff like that. You're not going to find numbered cards, You're not going to find autos typically. Sometimes they do. They are out there. And then when you start stepping up a little bit from that, that's when you start getting into like megas and stuff like that. And the megas start to have memorabilia cards, which could be like a patch card or something like that. Some of the megas, you could find an auto in them. And those price ranges are somewhat similar to, I'd say, a blaster. They're all in the same category, I'd say, around there. Blasters, mega packs, they're all around that same category. But if you're someone who's, hey, I want to get something real here, I want to get a big time auto, then that's when you start hunting for hobby, strictly hobby. When you hear people talk about hobby boxes, they're talking usually about a $400 to $500 box. They're talking about that has the potential to get autos in it of some serious name players.
Wow, man, I tell you. So yeah, I gotta pick up my game and start a side hustle. You know what I mean? So I can get on this as well. You'll find me at Walmart with my kids buying packs and telling them to open them. To see what I can come up with.
Now, CookieBoybreaks. Let's talk about actual breaking here as its own here. So, as a breaker yourself here, now obviously a lot of breaks have to do with different products here. If someone can't afford a hobby box and they want to get into a break, what is the best break for them to get into? Because there's different ones out there that they could do. There's divisional, there are teams, and what is the best way for someone to kind of spend their money with that chance there?
Yeah, I would go divisional. If divisionals are going to be a little bit more pricier, but again, you're getting 4 teams, so I'd go divisional. You're getting those extra teams. You're getting some people run their divisions a lot different. Some people will run a bundle, or you're getting 2 divisions in one. It just depends what the breaker's running. And then if you're going individual teams, then you're looking at you're going to get that individual spin or that individual team for a lower cost because you're not, you're only taking on one team. So if you really want to get into a hobby box and you really want to buy the 49ers or you really want to buy the Patriots or you're a Raiders fan, then you go pick your team in somebody's hobby break that has a hobby box there. And I can guarantee you, if you're like a Raiders fan, you want to take a chance on getting a Raiders card, Raiders aren't going to be more than $50. Just no offense to Raiders, nothing like that. But that's
not taking.
Yeah, so I'm saying no offense to nothing like that, but that's just a realistic. There for $50, and hey, whatever Raiders cards get pulled out of that $500 box, which it happens all the time, that baby's mine.
Yep, absolutely here.
Yeah.
We've got our first comment, or we got our first question for you here, CookieBoybreaks. Rachel goes, "What's your favorite hobby box to rip?"
Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Obsidian's sick. Yeah.
Okay. What year would you recommend for Obsidian?
2021. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. Only gonna get hotter.
Oh,
that's
the man, the myth, the legend has returned.
There he is, drunk, with another question here for you. What's the most valuable card you've ever pulled?
Mac Jones, and then Zach Wilson on card.
Okay, so touch base on that. The difference, so there are signatures that are out there, but there's 2 types. If you could kind of break them down for them, as far as when you see a signature here, and I'll let you kind of dive into a little bit of that there.
Yeah. So actually, I have some difference here right in front of me. Let's go. I'll show you this. So this right here, if you guys can see, this is a rookie auto. This was pulled recently in a break that I pulled. I don't know if you could see it pretty good, but this is a stickered auto. So you could kind of see the sticker.
Okay.
But it's a stickered auto. So it's a real auto. What it is, the difference is that the player is signing a sticker book. He's signing a sticker book with all these autos on it, with his agent most likely is present. And he's signing these booklets, and there's only so many he's going to sign to the Panini, and they're certified, they're licensed, and they're real signatures. And they take those and they make them with cards. And then you have a on-card auto, just something like this. This is Joe Montana right here. This is on-card. So he personally touched this card, and he signed it. A sticker auto, it's just as good. It's just you're going to get that value because, the player actually touched this physical card. Danny Gray probably didn't touch this card when it was made, but he definitely signed this sticker, and they take that sticker pack and they put it on the cards, and that's the difference. So if you pull the on card, it's like bang, you're getting the ultimate autograph basically. But like I said, sticker autos and on card autos, they're neck to neck in price.
Wow.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And we've got some more. We got some more people chiming in for you here, Cookie Boy Breaks. Rachel just asked, and I think you just answered it. Do you prefer sticker or on card autos?
I like them both, but
yeah,
obviously on card is nice.
Absolutely. And then Drunk says, B&T, what's up, fellas? We miss you, bro. Glad you're here. And he goes, a Mac Jones card worth
That's
money.
what I said.
I'm shocked. And that Joe Montana card is sexy. That was actually a really nice card there. And to kind of go with that there. Now, there are numbered cards with autos, but as you know, there is a rare chance where you get a number match auto. Go ahead and kind of explain a number match auto for a lot of the people here who may not know exactly what that is.
Yeah, number match autos are big. They're big. They increase that value of the card anywhere from 15 to 25% of that card with it being the numbered, same number match. And that just means that the number on the card is matching the jersey. So that on print of that card, if it's out of 25, and you pull something crazy like a Joe Montana, and that is 16 out of 25. That's a jersey match. That's a number match. Number 16, Joe Montana. That's big.
That almost seems crazy. How often does that even happen?
Not very often.
It doesn't sound like it, man. That's crazy.
I would say whatever the number of the card is, it's one out of. It's almost like hitting the lotto, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's nice to get an auto, but once you get that jersey match, man, that means so much more.
Hey.
So I pulled a patch auto. I mean, I pulled a patch, not an auto. I pulled a patch of Jonathan Taylor, and it was a numbered match. It was pretty cool.
Wow,
that's dope. And speaking of patches here, now that's also a great lead into that. Now there are two different types of patches there, and I know you've seen them both here. So go ahead and kind of bring people into light on the different patches that you could receive inside of a card there.
Yeah, so there's RP patches, which is a rookie patch. Those are hot. Those are cool patches. There's a napkin patch. I don't have any napkins here with me. There's a napkin patch, which is just a all white patch. It has no color on it. And an RP stands for a rookie patch. And there's a patch that's just a regular. It could be a vet player, a vet patch, a VP or something like that. And it's just a regular patch. I have a patch card, RP patch card here. So this is a patch. This is a patch card, and I don't know if you guys can see that clearly without the glare. That's Trey Lance. This one's actually numbered. It's out of 25, so there's only 25 of these babies out there, and this is nice and one touch. But that's a patch. That's a patch card, and they're very, very valuable as well. They're very, very valuable cards. They're awesome. But yeah,
we got the chat blowing up for you, man. So we got another question from Drunk. Drunk said when he was a little kid, he pulled a Randy Johnson card, and some dude told him it wasn't worth anything because it was from a dollar store pack. So he's asking what brand of cards should you actually look for?
So Panini's going to run all your football cards.
Okay.
Panini them all. There's just different variations of them. There's limited, there's Spectra, there's Select, there's Chronicles. There's so many different ones, but every single one of them is owned by Panini. When you turn the pack around, you'll see Panini USA on the bottom of it.
All right, and then we've got.
I got it. Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah. So
go ahead,
and then we got Brooke Seville. Thanks for joining us, Brooke. So what's your opinion on how long to hold on to a card versus when to sell? And then secondary question is, and I guess he's asking which is better, graded or raw.
Yeah. So when to sell, you want to do a few things. You want to look, number one, is this player still active in the NFL, or is this player still active in the sport that he plays? And if they are, how are they doing? Are they on their way to playoffs? Are they having a big year? You want to take all that in consideration. and that's basically how you get your prices. And then another thing is you want to look on what the card's going for. So if this card's, you're picking up a card and they're going for pretty high, and you think this is the peak of their time, let it go. Sell it. If you're in it to sell it, that's all. That's your ultimate goal. If they're up and you're like, man, I think this card's up, go for it, sell it. Especially if that player's in playoffs, let it go. If that player's having a really good year and you're like, man, I just bought this card, to make money, and there's your time. Take it, because honestly, anything can happen. A player could, go out, make a bad decision, and lose his career, like we've seen before. You don't know what could happen, and while that player's doing well, and if your ultimate goal is to sell that to make value, let it go. Let it go if the player's doing well. Track the player that's doing well. If they're doing well, they're doing well.
Now, Drunk, it looks like he may have a question, or he's making a statement, Bear, but he's looking to sell the Mac Jones card ASAP. With the beginning of the NFL season, is this something that he should do now, or give it a few games to see how he's going to start performing to sell?
I would one and two things. I would first see how much you're in on it for that card, and if you don't mind waiting, I would hold. I would get it graded and hold, because if you can get it graded and you're going to sell it, I would hold it, get it graded. If the Pats can get into playoffs, I'd start running some deals and running some numbers through your head. Or if you get the winning streak, start running some numbers.
There you go.
And then speaking of numbers, for a lot of people out there, what is the best way to find as what we call a comp on a card that's being sold, and how to get the price value? Because you can't just go out there and say, hey, I want $1,000 for this card, because there's a method behind the madness on the price there. So what is the best way for us to really go to that card and go, what value can I get out of this card right now if I was looking to sell it?
Yeah. So there's a few different websites out there. There's Market Movers. There's, Center Stage for iPhones. The best thing to do is go. There's 130 point. That's what I use a lot, is 130 point, and that's going off of eBay transactions. That's mainly where a lot of people are buying the big cards from, or eBay, that don't pull them themselves. Okay. You go to eBay, 130point.com. It will have every single eBay transaction, and it will show you what that card last sold for, what it sold for in auction through eBay. It will show you the seller, who sold it, and all that stuff. And then also, 130 point is nice for comps, but I see a lot of problems where people will look at comps and they'll be like, this guy paid $200 for this card. And that player will be doing really good. You'll go on eBay, and that same card, everybody's asking for, $1,000. And this guy's still harping on the side saying that, hey, the last one sold for, $250. And then you look at when the last time the card sold, and it's a couple months ago. Well, yeah, that's because this player is not doing well. Yeah. So my theory on it is, you go on eBay, look at what people are selling for, look how many people are watching. If people are watching at that high price and no one's sold yet, someone's getting ready to buy. And wait, don't take the comp price just because that's what it last sold for. Look at eBay, see what people are selling for, look how many people are watching, and go up, take those two together and set your price.
All right, now we got the chat's blowing up. So we got Drunk back in asking, what is the longest that you've or have you ever been in a situation where you've held the card for too long and regretted it?
No, not yet. Mac Jones, I let him go because, $700, and I said, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it.
And then, so when you look at it at that aspect with 700, what was the price that you paid technically for that card? And I'm only speaking to this because I paid $80 for a hobby pack, ended up pulling a Trevor Lawrence redemption autograph card, which is right now being sold around a little over $1,000. So, for me, this is something that I'm just getting ready to get rid of right away as soon as it hits my hand, because I'm up, hundreds and hundreds of dollars right now. So, how would you look at it at that moment for that Mac Jones card, on what you paid and what were you able to sell it for?
So I got that Mac Jones card. I was able to get in on a break. It was a $9 duck, and that duck climbed me up all the way up until the main board, and I was able to get a $125 team for $9, basically. Me and I think 2 others, and it was a random spin wheel, so I didn't know I was going to get the Patriots. I had no idea. They spun the wheel, they hit the Patriots. We got down to the last box on the table they had, and it was an obsidian box. They cut it open. It was actually my buddy. He cut it open, lives down the street from me. He cut it open, opened it up, and bam, there he was, Mac Jones. It was actually kind of crazy. It was a crazy night. I jumped in my car, took off, did about 100, got over there, grabbed the thing, and came home and put it in a top loader and put it with my Niners PC personal collection.
There you go.
There you go.
So
That's
we
awesome.
got a couple.
Crazy.
We got a few more comments from the chat. I want to try to get us caught up. So we got Rachel chiming in. She pulled a 2x5 Drake London pink cracked iced tobacco card out of a legacy hobby box and is asking, should I get that graded?
Yes, you should. You should get it graded and you should hold.
So there you go, Rachel. Get it graded
There it is.
and hold. And
Yes.
we got Drake chiming in. Rachel, that Drake London card gonna be worth bank. Okay, so he already know. Then Rachel. Okay, so I think we answered that question. Then Drunk again with the comment on $700 for a Mac Jones card. So obviously, Mac Jones is a little bit more popular than we think.
Well, and it's crazy. So Mac Jones was probably the best quarterback out of last year's rookie class when you look at it. But if you want to talk about a harder product outside of 2021, go to the 2020 box.
Yeah.
Because that's the year of Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert's card is absolutely, even I think his second year card is worth quite a few bucks there. So, when you look at the NFL's last few draft classes here, it is making the card industry just go out of proportion there. And that's going to kind of lead me into some of our final questions here. For right now, if I was to buy a hobby box and there was no Obsidian, what is the next best hobby box that I should be looking for when it comes to the NFL cards?
Let's see. I would if you can't get Obsidian, I would say try to get yourself into playbooks. Playbooks are going up. Go in the playbook, get yourself a nice booklet. If you could hunt down like a Mac Jones booklet, man, you're talking big money. And they're playbooks they're not to the point. Remember, playbook hobby. There's playbook blasters. There's megas. Make sure it's a playbook hobby. It'll come with 4 autos or mems. Typically, you could get 3 autos and it's like 2 mems, or 3 autos, 1 mem. It just depends, But there's 4 cards in total. But that's a hot box, and it's just moving up. It's moving up.
And for those who don't know, playbook comes. You have a very good chance of getting a which you just it's on the tip of my tongue.
Booklet?
A booklet, yes. Yeah. The booklets are out of control here. And Drunks y'all got me wanting to get in the card game. I ain't gonna lie. It's an addiction. Like
it is.
There's nothing like, I would say for me, there's nothing like getting a pack, whether it's coming from CVS or I go to my LCS, local card shop here, and I tear into a box because you're just waiting to see that card that you could potentially pull. And then it's just, then it becomes expensive after that. But if there was a hobby box right now to buy for a decent price, what would you look for?
Besides a playbook?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'd probably go Chronicles.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'd go Chronicles hobby.
And I know the reason behind Chronicles, but why don't you go ahead and share with everyone the reasoning behind Chronicles?
And Chronicles, you don't know what you can get. There's so many different cards in there. You got the Prism Blacks. There's so many different cards. You hit a Prism Black auto, bang, big money. There's so many different cards in there, and you're getting tons of cards. You're getting, I think, 2 autos, a mem. You're getting tons of numbered cards. I would go Chronicles. They're at that price to where it's not too expensive yet, but it's going to keep climbing in price. And I'd go Chronicles. That'd be my third. I'd go Chronicles just for the fact because you can hit cards that you wouldn't even think were in there. You might hit a legacy auto in there. You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's insane. It's crazy.
And then we got Rachel chiming in. Her choice is XR hobby boxes. And then
Oh,
Drunk
about to say that.
jumps in and he's got a question. Is there a website y'all use to check the value of the card? So is there a reference or is it just eBay or how are you doing it?
130 point.
130
point
There you go,
will
Drunk.
show you the value of that card that it last sold for. But you want to check what it last sold for and what the majority of the people are selling that card for at present day.
All right. Then George says, I'm going to buy 2 packs next time I go to Walmart. Hey, me too. And if I don't get nothing, I'm out. All right.
So speaking of that, it's Walmart and Target have had such an uproar of people buying boxes here. It's getting to the point where Target has to put a limit of 5 boxes a person. Walmart has no cap. I've seen videos of people literally buying MJ Sport boxes by the entire box.
Yeah.
So that's what makes the hobby hard for some of us here when we're your regular 8 to 5 or anything like that, and you get off. That restock has already happened, and there's basically kind of like the bare minimum, like Brooke said. It's that. Talk about an ultimate gamble. Go to 4 different WalMarts and see if you can find some trading card boxes there.
Man, that's so crazy because they're next to the checkout line at Walmart. They've been there for 20 years now. And here you guys are telling me there's something worth it. I passed by them damn things. They're next to the seasonal candies. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, man. This has been, it's amazing how this hobby has turned into what it is, and it's always been popular even before social media and everything like that. It's just, it's gotten a much bigger scale because of the platform that we have to use it. And Drunk's got a question here for you. What's the market like for me just buying and reselling boxes?
It's if you can get a decent vendor or someone else that you're going through, it is very good. If you can back yourself with your own cash, then you could set your own prices. You could kind of see what other people are setting their prices on, and you want to go based off of what other people are setting their prices on, what you're paying for it. It's a very good business. But like I said, it takes a lot of work. You got to get in there. You got to get the trust. You got to build the trust. You got to build the clientele. We're still building CookieBoybreaks. We just got to that point where we're wrecking the game now. When we jump into other people's breaks, like they know who we are or they know who I am. But we're still going. We're still going. We're still trying to build trust. We're still trying to build our clientele up. That's the most important part. If you could build the clientele, you could get the customers, you could get a decent price for the boxes, you could back yourself. It's life-changing money if you put your time into it. Like I said, but it's all about building the brand. It's all about getting bigger. I believe TikTok will be somewhat next to YouTube one day. And I think all the people that get in early on this stuff, that have the following, you'll be set for life.
All right.
Yeah, man. That's definitely 100% true. I didn't know I was going to be doing breaks until I got on TikTok, and I got a few guys I go to. And that's going to lead us to our final question here for you. When is your next break? When can we tune in on TikTok to see your next break, and what will you be ripping?
We will be ripping the first off the line Zenith box. I haven't ripped one yet. I'm excited to get it in, and we're gonna have if that's a nice box, it's a nice product. We're gonna keep having some more on us. We're gonna keep bringing it. And we're also gonna be doing a playbook, and that will be in about a week. It will be in about a week. I'm shooting for next Saturday.
Awesome. Well, for those, get on TikTok, look for CookieBoybreaks. Hopefully, in that week, we'll start seeing breaks. And Brooke, you are right. TikTok drains my wallet. It bleeds me out as much. I try to get on there not to get a part of the break. Like I just want to watch people rip cards. Then it's like,
it's hard.
Let's see what I can get here. How much money do I have to spend before I can?
Especially when you got a $5 ducky sitting there, it's like, ooh, I can climb that.
Oh my God, those duck races are just tempting. Those are the worst.
They are.
All right, T, why don't you go ahead and
let's move. We're gonna move from the world of sports on cars to sports on the field. So we'll start off with the NFL. And we're actually going to start off with the 49ers because CookieBoybreaks is a big-time 49ers fan. You just saw his Joe Montana card. So let's talk about the new quarterback Trey Lance. Now, me and B have had a different perspective on it because, of course, we're not fans. We're on the outside looking in, and it's kind of tough for us to really figure out if Garoppolo if Trey Lance is really any better than Garoppolo was, and if the impact that he has on the season will be greater than what Garoppolo has given them over the past few years. So I'm just curious as a Niner fan, man, what do you think of this kid?
Trey Lance? Oh,
yeah.
Man. I think Trey Lance is going to be special. I think he hasn't got enough time to play yet. You look at Trevor Lawrence, you look at Justin Fields, you look at Mac Jones, you look at his draft class. They all got to do something that he hasn't. They all got to start and take charge of their team first year. This is technically his first rookie year. This is technically his real rookie year. If you think about it, this is Trey Lance's real rookie year. You let him get the nicks and crannies out, and I think he's gonna be hot. He's gonna be a hot quarterback.
Now, is it fair for him to be under this microscope? Now, I've been hearing a lot of talking heads talk about this, and for me, because of where the Niners are at in this year, this isn't an NFC division or Western Division. Hey, we're okay with that. It's this team has to get to the Super Bowl. They have to win it. When you look at the Niners, they've been in the last Super Bowl the last 2 out of the 5 years, right? Since 2019, I think. So, is it fair for him to be under this kind of microscope, knowing that, yes, the Niners are built to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, they are. I think it's like you said, it's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on him because he has a Super Bowl team with him. You know, you got Deebo Samuel, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got George Kittle, you got Trent Williams protecting. You know, you got all these guys that are set up for this kid to strive and win, and he's going to have to deliver. And then you got a team that goes out their way to go draft a kid that the whole world didn't even know about, you know, a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that, you know, hey, you're stepping into a role where Steve Young, Joe Montana, Alex Smith, Jimmy Garoppolo all stood and held that position, and now it's yours, kid. You're 22 years old, and it's yours.
See,
and I think he has big shoes to fill.
That's the thing that, you know, my kind of my take on it is the thing about being a 49er quarterback is you can never be Joe Montana and you can never be good enough. So over the past, you know, many years actually, rather even with Jeff Garcia and some of the other quarterbacks that came along the way, you've had some pretty good quarterbacks, but they never really seem to fit the shoe. In the moment that it's, you know, I'm a big Laker fan, and so I understand that championship or bust mentality, and it often leads you to make some pretty quick Russell Westbrook type decisions where you give a guy maybe two seasons, and then after that you axe the kid and you bring in somebody else you think that could do a better job. Now Trey Lance, I think he definitely can be a starter in this league. I'm not going to take that from him. I'm just curious, a team that had a pretty successful season last year, to throw him in there and ask him to be more than what Garoppolo was in his first season, in my opinion, is just a little much to ask. Now, of course, we got a long season to go through, and the kid could do some incredible things, but hey, man, like you said, the pressure of being in that uniform at the quarterback position and then stepping into playoff games, you know, going to Lambeau Field in December, or January. These are big time 49er moments throughout history. So, B, I want to hear your take on it, man.
He's not ready for the frozen tundra in January, but he's not going to have to worry about that because I don't see the Packers really doing much this year. But, you know, Rachel states that Jimmy G was an average quarterback, and he was. He wasn't a deep ball thrower or anything like that. But what I tell people is that he managed the game. It wasn't perfect, but at least when shit was hitting the fan, you could sit there and go, okay, we should be good here. You know, there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league where when it hits the fan, you're like, what are you doing out there?
Man.
In that case there. But for me, it's Trey Lance has to win. It's got to be a Super Bowl win within these first 2 years. Because if this doesn't happen and Jimmy G goes on, and, you know, whether he's successful or not is a different story. But then it's going to be like, was that worth trading up to go get him instead of running with what you had now. It wasn't a bad team to begin with here. So that was just my take. And then, damn, I just lost my train of
It's all
thought.
good.
Sorry,
Let's go to the chat. So we have some people follow up in the
let's
chat.
go ahead.
I got you. All right, so drunk chimed in. He was drunk chimed in with Trey Lance got drafted into the opposite of Justin Fields situation. He should be under the microscope. And then we got Rachel with Trey area. Really, Rachel? Trey area? That's what we're calling this guy. All right.
I like.
Oh my God. Okay, so then we got drunk. Trey Lance has to be the guy that can't take 2 years. It has to be ASAP, and that's what I'm worried about. Forgot about Jeff Garcia. Man, yes, he was a good quarterback. And then Rachel chiming in again.
He wasn't worth passing up Brady for him. He wasn't worth passing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anybody, to be quite honest, was.
Nobody knew who Brady was.
Yeah, everybody was Pat. Did you see Brady's workout? Come on.
Right.
I
did.
I think a lot of people were at that time.
They were like, who the hell wants to draft Shaggy from Scooby-Doo? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And then Rachel chiming in, the ground game managed the team and made Jimmy G look good. Well, they ain't going away from that ground game just because Trey Lance is here. I can tell you that right now. And then Drunk chimed in with Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins are stepbrothers. No. Kirk Cousins has actually made more money than Jimmy G and has done just about nothing. So, actually, I don't know. At least Jimmy G's on Subway commercials. I don't know what Kirk Cousins does.
Right. Jimmy G has a ring. Don't forget, Jimmy G has a ring.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, and he started the beginning of that season, too, before they won that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Cookie Boy Breaks, what do you see the Niners doing this year? We're gonna put you down for your picks here. I have the Niners at 6-11. Taj has them at 9-8. So for you, how do you see your 49ers doing this year?
Man, I haven't even thought about that, honestly. I see us winning good, getting on a streak. I see us streaking. I see us, man, I don't know.
So you got it 9 plus. Is either 9 above 10 wins?
I'd say 9.
9? Okay, 9-8. There you go. Is it 9-8? Right? How many games are in the season now? 17. Something weird.
There's 40 games in the NFL season. There's 17.
I think we'll streak it. If he can get it down, we'll streak it.
So we're looking at 9. We're talking about 9-8.
9-8.
Around there.
All right.
Maybe a little more.
Rachel says more than the Ravens. I doubt that. We got our healthy team finally, so
yeah, you ain't got
no one's tearing ACLs during training camp.
Not
here,
yet.
to tell you that, at least. But to transition to the training camp, it's over. But the Rams and the Bengals decided to give us a little something before the end of the year. I don't know why the NFL thought it'd be a good idea to pit your two Super Bowl teams. Your Super Bowl teams in a preseason game, but Aaron Donald straight went Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett, yep.
Yeah.
And started. He was swinging helmets. So, is it? I don't know for you, Cookie Boy Breaks. Are fights just the norm for training camp here?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're gonna have all types of fights popping off, but I think. You put two guys that went neck to neck in the Super Bowl. You get them back together again. Tensions are high. There's that animosity. Yeah, I think that was bound to happen. But for Aaron Donald to go pick up 2 helmets, I think Aaron Donald went too far.
I mean,
he took it a little too far there.
I mean, first thing that came to mind was the old Mortal Kombat game. Do y'all remember the character Jax with the 2 metal arms? He had one move where he was just kind of doing this. That's exactly what I mean, Aaron Donald's in there ripping people's helmets off, and, they got that shot of the back of his uniform with 2 helmets in both hands, and I'm like, so wait a minute, are we killing people or are we fighting? What drives me crazy about NFL players fighting is they all covered in pads and pads and helmets. And it's like, exactly, you either got to punch a guy's helmet or you got to take his helmet off. I mean, the best fight I saw was, remember Andre Johnson and Finnegan when they fought.
Yeah,
remember that?
Houston and the Titans.
Andre kept his helmet on while he took his helmet off and punched him. There's no fair fight in the NFL, man.
I do remember. Yeah.
Bro, I don't get it. Like they really be. I mean, they slap each other across the head and whatnot, but try to throw a punch with a dude with a face mask on is like, dude, just go punch the wall or something. Like that don't make no sense.
You get to hit each other in the game, guys. Let's just come on.
Yeah. Brooke, you need to stop using my government.
Oh man, so we got
Jesus.
We got Brooke with some information on B here. I think everyone should be aware that B used to be a Niners fan. Oh,
you're right.
Damn.
You're right. I used to be a Niners fan, and I will admit that 100%. But here's what I always tell people: you don't sign a contract to be a fan of a team for life, and I'm just gonna say it like that. So I just made the jump because I was tired of false promises from that organization, and that's a whole different topic of discussion.
That's a whole show right there.
That is absolutely.
Trey Lance wins the Super Bowl and gets MVP. You might see that.
You coming back, Brian? You coming back?
Nope.
All right.
Might see it.
Damn.
Might see it.
Nope. I'll be happy for
Damn.
you, but I ain't coming
So,
back. I'll put it like
Jordan
that.
says Aaron Donald's been choking people out since he came into the league with no consequences.
I can't stand the dude, but he is a good player. I hate the dude. Can't stand him, and that's just because of the disrespect with the Niners. Like, I don't know if you ever seen that dude when it gets time to play in us. The dude starts shaking and shit, starts getting all nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know Debo Samuel. I don't know who's that.
Yeah,
man.
The guys be doing a lot. I will say that.
I'll tell you this: I'm running away from his ass if he comes chasing down at me, though.
Yeah,
that boy's scary as hell.
I think we're all taking that approach. I think all of us are. So I'm gonna.
They're gonna have to put Aaron on anger management or something, man.
I mean, when you're in football, I guess you got to be a little crazy, I guess that's that's the deal, man. That's a part of the game.
It's a big dude.
All right.
So, Tosh, I know you got something special for everyone.
Yeah, well, so I'm going to try to do this, folks. So we're going to get a little technical, and if it doesn't work, don't yell at me because I'm doing my best. All right. So I'm going to try to pull a photo and get some thoughts on the photo, and then, no, that ain't it. And let me see. There it is.
Pulling no random photos here.
There it is. So it's going to kind of block us out a little bit, folks, but I'm going to bring it up right now. This, folks, is the picture of none other than former Patriots coach Bill Belichick. Apparently, they put the UFC belt on him, and let's just say it ain't doing my boy no favors. He's looking like somebody's grandma. I ain't trying to be rude. But can we give my boy a halter top? Anytime you see the pool in the middle, though.
Boy, Bill Belichick need a push-up.
Do you see the pool in the middle, though? I mean, damn. So, oh man. So yeah, me and B had some fun with this.
Come on, CookieBoybreaks.
It was hilarious. Oh man, we had a good time with it. So I'm gonna take this down before they get me. We
don't own the rights to this before.
That's right. We don't own the rights. We don't own the rights.
We don't own the rights to that video or that picture. So don't kick us off.
Please don't take down our video. Sorry.
What? Belichick 70 now?
Yeah, he is.
He's 70, but man, them things were hanging though.
Hey, man, check it. When I get 70, don't put me in that type of shirt. Can we all agree on that? I mean, give me a wife beater so I can hold it.
Gray sweatshirt.
The infamous gray sweatshirt can never be seen the same way ever again after seeing that just now.
But I'm telling you, what was it? A bigger sweatshirt? I could have swore it was a little looser than that, right? I feel like he put on a tight one. Bill looking like Golden Girls. That's right.
He looking like Golden Girl remix there.
Oh man,
that's the comment of the night right now. That is the comment of the night.
Oh my god.
Yo, they should have just lightly put that belt on him, man. That was everything got pushed up and got sucked in from the midsection up, dude. That was terrible.
No.
Go ahead. Would you?
That.
Oh man. That's That was awful, folks. We're gonna try to transition that into the NBA and talk a little bit about the league.
I got one more thing on the.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I didn't know this. I just found out a couple days ago. But did you hear about John Gruden blowing up the deal to get Tom Brady and Gronk to Vegas? That it was confirmed by Dana White.
Yep.
I thought that was a bunch of bull. I was watching some stuff. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's because John Gruden didn't want to win. That's why he had Derek Carr.
Well, you have to understand.
Picking Derek.
You have to understand something about John
Derek
Gruden.
Carr over Tom Brady.
Yeah, but to get Gronk and Brady, oh man.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, we talked about it. I still don't think they would have won, but John Gruden is about himself, and they gave him that 10-year, $100 million contract. He was going to be the face of the franchise. They put his face all over billboards, and I really, to goodness, think that it's all about his brand. He did not want to share it, so I think he's just being selfish little Chucky doll he is, and stabbed that in the neck.
Yeah, I like Jack. I like Jack Del Rio.
I love Jack Del Rio.
I like that.
Yeah, he was a Bay Area guy, So I love Jack Del. I thought he was a great coach. I just felt like ownership. They were they had such a hard on to get a new stadium that they were willing to do anything. They were like, it was like Raiders. Y'all got to go play in Ireland for a game next season. Okay, just help us get the stadium. So it was just, it was a mess, man. It was stupid. We played in every other international game for 10 years, man.
Jesus. Mark Davis is just something else. I don't know. That guy, he's funny.
Yeah, that haircut is funny. That's what it is.
Yeah. With the backpack last year, when he had his backpack and shit, looking like he was in high school with his backpack.
Oh, my God.
That's true, too.
Oh, he said, if Gruden win the bowl, he want all the credit. Yeah, that's right, man. That's how he is, dude. He was like, no Khalil Mack, no Amari Cooper, shipped him off immediately.
You guys had Amari. I forgot about that. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So did everyone else.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right, so we're going to transition into the other two leagues. We'll get into the NBA next. Some big news happened over the past week. Apparently, all this hoopla about Kevin Durant and being traded. Well, turns out he farted and decided we want to go back to the Nets. So there you go, folks. Big banana tail up the tailpipe. It just all for nothing. So I'm almost like, was there money on this whole situation to where somehow KD made money off this? Because it seemed like the most important story in the NBA since the season ended, and for it to just unceremoniously, no trade, no nothing, but a small whisper in the night, okay, now all of a sudden KD's going to stay with the Nets. I'm honestly disappointed from a storyline, from a story perspective. I wanted to see some fireworks. I want to see people fighting. I wanted managers to be fired, coaches fired. But the guy just goes back on his word and just,
oh my God,
after doubling down and asking for Sean Marks and Steve Nash to go, within 2 weeks, he turns around and says he's good. He's coming back. What the hell's going on here?
Bro, they showed up to his house I think it was in L.A. Brass, Steve Nash, everyone, they told him, you going to shut the hell up now. You come play for Brooklyn. And he turned around and said, oh, okay, I'll come out and say that next week. Yeah. I'm like, dude, you look like an idiot now. Like, you had so many problems as it was already, and now you couldn't even get traded. One, because nobody wants to give up their entire team for a 34-year-old guy who they can't build around after unloading teams. I swear to God, that was a waste of our 3 months talking about KD.
Most definitely was. It's just so stupid. Drunk chiming in, Pat Bev said KD basically froze the free agency. He froze the league. They froze the entire league. Here the Phoenix Suns are sitting over here waiting around. They were actually smart because they had to make a choice sooner than later because they had to keep their center. And they didn't want to lose him to the Pacers and end up re-signing him. So, I don't know. It seemed really stupid. I know the Nets gave a very high price, and I think a lot of that was because they wanted to get a big return. But I also believe I don't think they really wanted to get rid of him, and they wanted to hold his feet to the fire a little bit. And I guess somehow it worked. So kudos to the Nets. I've been getting on Sean Marks since the whole off season, but now I got to pay him homage. I'm like, hey man, you did a great job. You're one of the first GMs in the league to say sorry, bro. Well, no, he's not the first. I won't say that. Okay, Jerry West didn't trade Kobe when he asked for a trade. Lakers also didn't trade Magic Johnson when he asked for a trade. There's been many different scenarios, but in today's league, being more player driven, I got to give Sean Marks his credit, man. He held his ground, and somehow or another, Kyrie and Kevin Durant are going to go lose in the first round against the Celtics next year. So there you go.
That's going to be great. Now, drunk or not drunk?
What is it?
Cookie
Lord, you okay, man? Jesus Christ!
I know, dude. I was helping somebody move yesterday, and I'm like all sun-drenched and everything. But Cookie Boy Breaks, as a Warrior fan, and those rumors about KD coming back to Golden State, would you have done that?
No, we don't need him. We don't need him.
That ship has sailed. I appreciate that there.
Listen, he didn't want to play around it. So, he made all that fuss and, yeah. No, he had his chance. He had a championship team, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, he's still crying. Still crying.
Sure, too. Oh, I love it. So, T, before we get over to your Lakers here, Drunk says Danny Ainge finessing the Timberwolves is the reason KD stayed on the Nets. That's a really true statement right there, too. I think when that blockbuster trade happened with the Timberwolves, that really halted free agency after that. Because that was one of the last biggest moves that free agency.
Yeah, that was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Danny Ainge is a shrewd dude. I mean, he's done this. I mean, you got to remember, Danny Ainge is the one that traded away the entire Big Three.
Yep.
Yeah, and
he said go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly. And so Danny Ainge is with Utah now, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got the same mentality, man. If it doesn't work, he's gonna trade everything and get as many assets as possible, and that's what he's doing with Utah, man. So and that kind of is a good transition into my Lakers because, well, we're the dummies that took some of the stuff from them. The Lakers recently made a trade with the Utah Jazz for Patrick Beverley. We traded THT and Stanley Johnson. Those two players are not that great, so it's not a huge deal, to be quite honest with you. But really, what this is about is what's the next move for the Lakers. I'll start with this first. I'll
try to get.
Getting rid of Russell Westbrook.
I was going to tell you real quick. Try to get Russell Westbrook out before Patrick Beverley bullies him.
Yeah, or breaks his ankle. Or either one or the other.
Only one of the two.
I think the first question I ask B and Cookie Boy Breaks is Patrick Beverley as a player. In my opinion, he's one of those guys you either love him or you hate him, which I can appreciate as a fan. However, is this guy a little long in the tooth? I feel like Patrick Beverley he's on the latter end stages of his career, and I'm worried about the Lakers getting these players that are old, because that's what we did last year. Do you think Patrick Beverley has another 2 years in him? Or in my opinion, the dude can give us he can play at that high level for maybe 10-15 minutes a game. I don't see him as being a guy who could play 30 minutes.
Cookie Boy Breaks, I'll give you this one first.
Man, I'm with you on that. He's been around for a long time. He has been around for a long time.
Yeah. So I don't think so, man. I think that he's toast.
I hate Patrick Beverley so much, but if he was wearing a Warrior uniform, I would open all the doors for him. I mean, he is up there in age, but that boy is going to do the dirty work. He is going to get in people's heads. He's going to cry when they win a playing game. So, I mean, for what it's worth, you're not losing much. I mean, you can see what happens. You're not going to get a full 82 season out of him, but it's not too bad here. Drunk with dropping a couple commentaries. Laker fans told me a couple years ago THT was better than Jordan Poole. Boy, they look stupid for saying that.
Well, first off, THT is not better than Jordan Poole. But secondly, Jordan Poole plays for a team that has two very good players on it, and he can shoot the ball whenever he wants. So THT, I think, is a great young talent, but honestly, the Lakers should have never gotten rid of a guy like Alex Caruso. If I could have been in the Lakers brass, I would have told them go ahead and let go of THT and keep Alex Caruso. To me, Alex Caruso was the best 3-and-D guy that we had. He was a good glue guy. And then drunk with you know, La GM love bringing in them Uncle Drews. Yes, Carmelo Anthony's on the way. You know, so yeah, we gonna get some old vets on our team, man. There's no way to avoid it.
Hey, Cookie Boy Breaks. There, Carmelo Anthony may find himself in a Warrior uniform.
That'd be sick.
I'd take that.
I like that. I
like that idea too. That's a dope one right there. Him and Jordan Poole coming off the bench and just raining buckets. I mean, hopefully Carmelo, but you know, definitely with Jordan Poole. I like that lineup there.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I think he can knock down shots. He's one of those guys. He's like Carmelo literally catches the ball and has had his hands in 0.5 seconds. So I think he'd be great with the Warriors because he's just going to be asked to run up and down the floor and catch and shoot threes. He's not going to do a ton defensively, but neither does anybody else if you're gonna put up 12 points in 5 seconds or whatever the heck you guys do. It's ridiculous.
Don't be jealous.
Shut up. Right. So, bro, we got more comments from Joe. Braun thought he could make another Caruso. Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves will be a nice player. I don't know if he'll be as good a defender as Alex Caruso, but he'll be a nice player. The Warriors so stacked, it don't make sense. Yeah, the Warriors had the benefit of being bad for a couple of seasons, and that's what helped them out because they were able to get high draft picks on those seasons where they didn't play very well. So, kudos to the team for
paid their people too.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Cookie Boy Breaks. We paid our people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey man, we're not maxing out Draymond.
Whoa! You just said you're gonna pay your people. What was that?
We're not paying stupid people. I'll tell you that. We paid them.
All right.
Get
paid again. I got you.
That's not gonna happen. Drunk, don't you dare say that ever again. We're not maxing out Draymond ever again.
No.
And then we, Cookie Boy, how often do you follow the Pro-Am at all? Like, do you hear about it or anything like that?
Not
just
much.
The basketball, yeah.
Not much. Well, Chet Holmgren, what was he? The number 2 overall pick, number 3?
Yeah, number 2.
Number 2, he's done for the year. He tried to guard LeBron James, busted his ankle.
It's his foot injury.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah,
No more Pro-Ams.
Yep.
That's it.
We talked about this last show, man. If there's an injury in one of these Pro-Am games, the league is gonna completely put a kibosh on all of them. They're gonna start writing it in players' contracts. You can't play in Pro-Am games, or unless it's a controlled environment. Because I think this is the same game where they had the condensation on the floor or something. So yeah, man, that's a wrap. No more. That's it. You know, I think that's unfortunate for Oklahoma City. Not like they don't have 25 more draft picks, so they're just going to go ahead and tank this entire season.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
They'll be fine. Yeah, they'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, but unfortunate for Chet Holmgren. But you know, what was it? DeJounte Murray. He can go ahead and go home with all that. We need to play Pro-Am games. The league.
Yeah, we're shooting that down now.
Adam Silver's on the phone right now. Like, sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna have to shut that down.
All right. We're going to transition to baseball, and Cookie Boy, we're going to start with your Oakland A's. And there's just a couple things I want to bring up here with that. One, your fans are taking home field advantage to the next level. There was, I think it was last week, or was it Sunday or Monday? There was a couple in the upper deck at O.co, whatever we're calling it now. But the lady was providing very professional service to a certain man's individual there. You know, so as an A's fan, is it? I don't even know where to go with that. I'll let you touch on this, Cookie, since you're the A's fan here. I mean, they got to do something about this whole stadium thing here, because.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Man, I think that's crazy funny, but it's kind of bad because it's like, man, there's kids out there and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, man, I think anybody that sits all the way up there, man, you're not up there for no good views, man. You're up there because you're trying to get something. trying to do something in a stadium that wouldn't be allowed in any other stadium, or you're just up there to just do something crazy like that.
Well, they was doing something there, and the funny thing is like they're trying to do an investigation on it, but it's like realistically, how are you going to find these people?
Yeah.
Investigation.
Yeah. What are you gonna? I mean, yeah, you could charge him with this and that, but then it's like the dude can say, "Well, nothing was out. She was just pretending." So it's like,
I mean,
she was showing them.
They got to extend security to the upper deck now. What's going on around here? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. The next night they had security in the upper deck, and lo and behold, nobody's sitting up there. So. And so Rachel brings us into our next segue here. As the A's are struggling to get a stadium built here, obviously with the Raiders already going to Vegas, there is a very, very good possibility that in the works that the Oakland A's could potentially see themselves in Vegas. So Rachel poses a question to you, Cookie. Do you want to see the A's go to Las Vegas?
Hell no. I want A's to get their stadium right here in California. Right there in Oakland. I think they deserve it.
Yeah.
And if we can't. That's the thing. It's like Oakland's going into such crap. It's like, what do you have left? You lost the Warriors, you lost the Raiders, and you guys are about to lose the A's. They should have let the A's buy that stadium because the A's want to tear it down. A's wants to tear it down, and Oakland said, no, sign a lease with us for 99 years. Sign us a 99-year lease, and Oakland said no. That we want it all. We want it all. We don't want to talk 100 years later and have it to where it's like, well, now this stadium we built, isn't ours no more because they want to kick us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Oakland's losing everything here. And me personally, what the Vegas did for the Raiders Stadium, as much as people want to talk about it, like that is a ginormous arena. Can you imagine Vegas building a baseball stadium for a team like that? Yeah. I wouldn't be going to games, so it'd be 110 degrees in the middle of the summer.
It's going to be indoor for sure, man.
Out there. It'd definitely be a dome
it's going to be
stadium,
indoor for sure, man.
Yeah.
But being an Oakland native myself, man, it's just the city of Oakland never prioritized sports, never, and that's why they have a stadium that's been there since 1960. They never took the time to upgrade anything. They never took the time to build on the land around the Coliseum. I'm from Oakland, so the area around there on the other side of the BART tracks, that's the hood. It's not a place where you're gonna bring people where there are hotels, where there.
You don't want to make a wrong turn.
Yeah, exactly. So
you don't want to make.
And what's so crazy about it? Go ahead. I couldn't hear you, Cookie Boy.
Oh, I said you don't want to make a wrong turn. You want to be up and out. I was actually last year. I was at the Battle of the Bay home game. We won first night. I was there on the Friday night, and that was actually Buster Posey's last game being there. That was pretty crazy to watch. But no, man, we won, and it was crazy, man. It was crazy afterwards. We had all the A's fans hyped up, and then it just turned into nothing but A's fans and Giants fans talking crap to each other, and we were just trying to get up and out because it was a late game. I think the game didn't finish till like 10-something. Then they had fireworks after. Yeah. Once the fireworks were over, people were drunk, trying to fight. It was A's fans against Giants fans, literally the whole way to the parking lot, just talking mad.
Yeah.
And then I'm there at my uncle, and he's a Raiders fan, and I'm giving somebody a compliment in a Joe Montana jersey, and he's trying to fight the guy in the Joe Montana jersey. Out of here, we got to get out of here, bro. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, it's sad because the airport and all the stuff on the other side of the freeway, they're building all of that up, and it's just They took so long, and it took too long to save any of those franchises. There's just most teams have moved on to modern stadiums in modern areas. The LA Rams, like they leveled all of Inglewood or something. They just put a big fucking giant, just boom, just destroyed half of a city and built a stadium and it's not just a stadium but shops and hotels and all kinds of stuff. So, the writing was on the wall for a long, long time for Oakland. They just never took the time to invest. So now I hate to see it happen this way, but in all likelihood, the A's aren't going to stay there for very long. They got to get out.
Once if they could get that Howard Terminal construction
Yeah.
deal.
And that,
But if it's like, man, I'd hate to say it, but it's like, let's start looking. Let's start looking a little bit south. Let's start going.
San
Let's
Ho.
start looking into. We have to
Yeah.
San Jose, and if we can't go to San Jose, then let's go up north. If we got to go to Sacramento, we'll go to Sacramento. Yep. We have to go to Sacramento. At least Sacramento will let us build the stadium we need. Our training facility is already in Sacramento, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is.
We took it over. The Giants own the Sacramento River.
Oh, really?
Now that's fine. I forgot about that.
Yep, that's right. They took that over. We got a few comments in the chat here. Drunk says, I couldn't imagine if St. Louis lost the Cardinals after the Rams. Like, bro, what are we doing? So, Taj, way to bring back memories for Drunk for losing his Rams from St. Louis to L.A. And Rachel goes, yes, sounds like they belong in Vegas. I think that's just going to be the inevitable. Oakland hasn't done enough to keep them there. Yeah, and then it's too late because that stadium should have been built a long time ago. And there's already bad taste with that going forward with it. So I just don't see it happening there. But don't worry, Drunk, you're not losing the St. Louis Cardinals. That's like, that's one of the original baseball teams. I don't think you're gonna have to really worry about losing your baseball team there. But let's talk about a team that should just fall off the face of that map real quick here, and that is the Dodgers. Dude, have y'all seen the way they've been celebrating home runs lately?
You mentioned it. What is going on? What's happening?
Go ahead, Drunk, or not Drunk, but CookieBoybreaks, have you seen it lately?
I haven't. I gotta see it.
So they sit there. I'm not going to do the demonstration on the internet because I don't want them to be caught doing this here. But basically, when they get in the dugout, there's like three guys that huddle up. They make it look like they're giving head to some random dude, and then one guy with a random water bottle squirts the guy in the face with a home run like it was the money shot or something. And I was just like, yo.
What the heck? Man. Dude.
It only fits Los Angeles perfect that they do that kind of celebration. Like, I'm sure all their fans do that after every win. No offense, Taj Mahal, but
what?
I just feel like that's something that they do.
Well, no offense to me. I'm not a Dodgers fan, but I mean, why we gotta do this weird stuff, man? I mean, people don't just slap five no more. We don't chest bump. High five.
Nope.
I'm not. I don't want to say too much. But you ain't gonna see stuff like that in basketball, okay? I mean, because it's just that's come on, man. That's a lot, man. That's doing too much. I ain't trying to do that.
He said, Trump said, "Hey, yo, pause."
That's what I said. I don't get down like that, man. Like, hold up, Mookie be doing that? He said. Man. You saw Drunk said, does Mookie be doing that? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, Mookie be doing that. You know what? I'm glad LA's rubbing off on him. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
But the last thing here is, obviously, the new MLB schedule came out, and I am excited for this. CookieBoybreaks, I don't know if you've seen it yet or heard about it, but every team is going to play each other in the regular season here. So, with interleague being as it is, teams you barely get to see, now everyone's going to get a chance to see their team play against, a team they rarely get to see. Like, as a Giants fan, us getting the chance to play the Yankees to open the season, hopefully with Aaron Judge on our team, is a sight to see because we're from – oh, my God, I'm getting a phone call right now. This has got to be one of the worst things. You've got to be kidding me, man.
Well, hang up, boo.
I just did. But just to see the Giants go back to New York, because that's where they're from. That's something as a fan that I get to see. So in your eyes, I don't know if you've seen the schedule, but what is a team as an A's fan that you enjoy, that you're going to get excited to see now that they're playing all 30 teams?
Man, I haven't even got a chance to really look into it much on that. But, man, I don't know. I'd like to see them play the Pirates. Pirates would be sick because I feel like we don't see them at all. Yeah. But I think that'd be sick. And I'd like to see them play the Blue Jays too. I think we see them that much either.
Yeah, well, they only see them. So they see them once a year. Outside of that, but like, this is a good step for baseball because the rules that they're coming out with now are getting more ridiculous. Like, it sounds like a slow pitch softball game a giant bag on the. They're going to put an orange bag on the side. There's a potential, no shift out there. So baseball got this right with doing the schedule every 30 teams.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm all for it. I mostly follow my own team. I don't follow too many other baseball teams, but no, I'm for it. I mean, the A's. It's been hard being an A's fan. It has. When you got a team that you think it's like, man, we got Olsen, we got Chapman, we had so many good players, and you just gut them. You just gut them from us. It's just
it's tough when you can't afford them, man. It's tough.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's so hard being an A's fan, but I stay loyal. I think we'll get it going. I think it's just our ownership needs to change. A lot of stuff needs to change upstairs. You got the old Billy Bean stuff and all that stuff, man. It's just, man.
Yeah, the money ball. Got to get rid of the money ball, man.
Yeah.
It's time to spend some money, some real money.
Right.
That's what's winning these days. Nobody cares about saving money whenever you're a billionaire.
Yep. Well, I think we've hit the end of our show here. Unless anyone else in the chat, Drunk, thank you for tuning in. Rach, Brooke, everyone here. If y'all got anything else before we sign off, let us know. But I think we have really appreciate you being on our show, Cookie Boy Breaks. This has been fun, man, and I can't wait to see the break that you get on there. So I'll be saving my pennies so we can get involved with that.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
I've been thoroughly educated today, so we appreciate you being on, man. We appreciate you and all of.
We'll get breaks. We'll get more stuff. Like I said, we're in the process of building Cookie Boy Breaks as well. But like I said, we're stepping it up big time right now with price wise and boxes and bringing quality in. We're stepping it up.
Awesome. All right, y'all.
All right.
Good show. Love the comments. Everybody was active. Drunk. Appreciate you being there. I know B already shouted out everybody, so I ain't gonna do it twice. But y'all have a lovely evening. And again, if you haven't already, like us, subscribe to us. If you know somebody that'd be interested in some of the topics that we discuss in sports, let them know. Get on. Let them know to get on and check us out. Let them know to hop on Cookie Boy Breaks and check him out. That way you could get more info on what you need to do to get started and start building your card empire. You know what I mean? So
yeah. That's another thing. We ship out all over. I got packages going to Connecticut. I got packets going to New York. We ship out all over. We're shipping all over. So I mean, don't be afraid. Chat in if you're looking for something in particular. Don't be afraid to hit me up.
There you go.
Right on. I'm gonna drop I'll drop your TikTok in there for the chat here. But thank you everyone for tuning in here with everything. Man, I miss you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, this is fun. I appreciate it.
Man. Anytime, man. We appreciate you. All right, y'all. Peace. Y'all have a good night.
Later, everyone.
Late.
Laters.